positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. How you, man?
Good. Let's go.
Let's get it. How we? I'm out here showing the
Showing titty hair?
yeah, the taco meat. You know what I mean?
Out here showing titty hair? Oh, wait. I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah, you got
Showing bitty hair?
the bitty here is crazy. The bitty here is crazy. Yeah, that's how we started today, though. Yeah, listen, positive energy and good vibrations from me to you, man. This is your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
Your boy JP, the Imperfect Husband.
and this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. As always, do us a favor, and I'm saying it early, like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. Please, hit that button. It ain't gonna hurt you. I can promise you that. You ain't getting no booming L spring, you ain't getting no finger, you ain't gonna twist no finger, and nothing. Just hit that subscribe button for us. That's all.
Yep, and go follow our Instagram.
Yes,
at Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yes, please do that. You see it at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, sir.
The boy over here is nice with that. I know you see it at the bottom of the screen. So, as always, y'all, around the podcast, before we get into too deep and get into the conversation, because it's going to be a good one, let's do what we need to do right now and get it, not get it out the way, but get it in the way.
Yes, sir.
So if y'all don't know what that means, you got to go back to the beginning of this year's podcast and you'll understand that. But for the rest of y'all who understand, bow your heads. Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you for our life, our health, our strength. We thank you for this ability to just sit in these chairs in front of these microphones and just to speak from our hearts and say what we feel on our chest, God, that's going to help someone be a better version of themselves and just see life differently, God. We ask you right now that you may go into their lives and be the God of their lives in a situation that they may be going through right now. Walk them through it and show them that you are with them through it, no matter what it is. These are our prayers. These we ask you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, indeed, my brother. So, what up?
Talk to me, baby boy.
How you?
What's good?
This week has been. Let's see. It's been dope. It's been a dope week, man. A lot of things happen in the world of our world, the entertainment, you know what I'm saying, this past week. So I'm happy, sad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Tank and Frank, they had a fight this past weekend. And shout out to both competitors.
Good fight.
Very good fight, man. And shout out to both of the competitors, because one thing people don't realize is like you have a easy go running your mouth about two fighters or two competitors in the ring. You don't know what it's like standing in that square circle. You really can't really say too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully. Yeah,
buddy. Not everybody can last those 2 minutes in there. And it don't got to be with a professional.
No.
Anybody can last 2 minutes with 16-ounce gloves in their hands, swinging.
And being hit. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. So I always say I salute those men, any athlete, because you're putting yourself at the mercy of the public when you at any sport, right? So I always salute the athletes first and foremost. But I got to be honest, I knew Tank was gonna win, but I bet on Frank.
I know why you bet on Frank.
Yeah, I want that come up.
The odds were too good to let go.
20 would have made me 100. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 would have made me 400. You know what I'm saying? So
the odds are too good to let go. And listen, don't get me wrong. Frank put up a good fight.
Yo, and that's the one thing I was telling everybody, bro. Like, I don't take nothing. As a matter of fact, I think
he was dominating the fight. He was dominating the fight. He just he would creep into the corner too much.
Yeah.
And then just try to like play possum to then try to slide out. I don't do that with Tank.
I think he wastes too much energy early. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like
he was getting tired, yes.
And Frank and Tank was putting pressure on him and making him react.
The whole fight.
And like when you was watching him in the beginning, it was like he was walking towards him, he was putting a little pressure on him. But as the match went further on and deeper into the rounds, he began to just walk harder towards him.
You know, I knew that knockout was coming once I started seeing Frank placing himself in the corner to then try and slide out.
Yeah.
Tank was setting him up.
Yeah. The whole fight.
Was setting him up for that punch.
Yeah.
The whole fight. Once I saw that he would line him out with one fist and hammer down on him, I said, it's coming.
Yeah, it's over.
It's coming. Any moment on one of these slides, he's going to catch him with a hook.
Bro,
he caught him with that uppercut, and it was night-night.
I gave Frank from the first to the fifth round. Even between the third to the fifth, even in between the third to the fifth round, I began to get weary. In my mind, I'm like, you're starting to get fatigued.
On the fifth round, I said, wow, this is a close fight.
Yeah. But no, I started feeling like Tank, like no matter what Frank did, Tank was eating it almost, was absorbing it. Okay. You can't, and then like seeing and looking at his eyes, it was like, yo, you can't keep this up.
Yeah.
And then once I start seeing Frank's drawback in his punches, his punch count from the first 5 rounds to the last 3 rounds was astronomically different. Like I think he dropped off like 40% of punches.
Yeah.
So the fatigue factor set in, and also it was the experience factor. And Tank said it in one of the interviews. He's like, yo, bro, like you ain't been boxing long enough. It ain't like you're not good enough. You just ain't been doing this. I've been doing this since I was 6. And it showed evident. It showed evident, especially in the final round, because when he stopped punching and he caught himself in those corners, I was like, oh, he's in trouble now. But then his legs gave out. There wasn't even no more motion in his legs for him to even slip out of it no more. So I didn't even, honestly, I was watching the fight closely and I didn't even see the uppercut that initially took him out. I just seen the left that dropped him. And then when they replayed it and I seen the actual uppercut, I was like, yikes.
The
uppercut was vicious. The left was, he was exposed. Like,
that's it. He was already wobbly. He was just a finisher.
Yeah, that's the one.
Just to make sure that he stays down.
That's the reason why Tank ran off so happily, because that last punch, he knew when his head hit the canvas, he wasn't getting up.
That's it. Let me put him to sleep. Let me leave him there, because this is the end of the fight. That's exactly what it was.
And honestly, like, it's just, Tank is one of those generational athletes, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's, when you have the ability to look at time, you know what I'm saying? Like, and how fast you react to certain, it's only a skill that you can have by doing something over and over and over for a amount of time.
Subconscious.
Because after a while, it's second nature. And now he's operating in only second nature and he's getting better at it. So shout out to that. Shout out to both of them, man. And shout out to Frank once again, because he took the fight. He didn't back down. He talked a lot of trash because... Did you see
Tank's response to De La Hoya?
No, what did he say to him?
Yo, this tree is in my face, bro. This tree is in my face, bro. This tree is in my face. Hold up.
Don't violate the tree, bro.
I'm about to two-piece you and uppercut you.
Don't violate the tree, man.
De La Hoya said that he had a space for him in his promotion, and he said, boy, you haven't paid your last 2 fighters.
Yo, I don't know why you would want to even run your mouth, though. You know you're in trouble. Like, Canelo at your neck right now. He just finished wilding you out in public, bro. Go somewhere and sit down, Golden Boy. Okay? Go somewhere and sit down. Like, leave it alone, bro.
Yo, my man Tank is a troll.
Yeah, nah. Like, I love him. Bro. Yo, first of all, he came out to the Ghostbusters.
Tell me that ain't some troll stuff, bro.
And then the t-shirts, who you gonna call? Yo, come on, man. Classic.
Bro. Oh, man. Yo, seriously, he played a mind game with him from the beginning to the end. He knew that it was going to be a competitive fight with the kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knew he was going to win.
Yeah,
he knew he was going to win, and he knew that the kid was going to put up a fight.
Yeah.
But he continued to just bully him.
Yeah.
To troll him throughout the fight. Like he was saying crazy stuff to him, bro.
Yo, he laughed at him when he flinched at him. You seen him when he flinched at him and it didn't punch and he backed up.
You saw when the bell rang and he needed to say something and the ref pushed him off.
No, and let me tell you something. Like, you can tell that Frank comes from a good background.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell, like, he's from a solid background. And of course, Tank was trolling him, talking about he's from the burbs and all that. Because you give me hell all the time about it. So it's crazy.
Queens boy.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why they be on it.
BX, baby.
BX and these Brooklyn niggas be wilding. I don't get it.
Ninjas.
I'm my bad. You at YT ninjas.
I'm gonna beep it. I'll beep it. I got you, YouTube.
Yo, he gonna hold us down. We ain't gonna get a clip because of him. Yo, so I look at it as Frank went in there and put up the best fight he possibly could, bro. And like he said, he didn't even see the punch that caught him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He was
like,
too tired at that point.
Yeah.
Now he was too tired. He
exerted way too much energy. But that was also the mindset going into it. You can tell that Tank in his corner had a game plan.
The lack of experience caught up to him.
Absolutely.
That's basically what it was.
Absolutely.
The lack of experience.
And like I said, I'm proud that he went in there. I'm proud that he fought the fight that he fought. And he's gonna learn from it.
Yeah.
Like this is his first and only loss. He's gonna learn from it and come back even better. I really believe like we ain't seen the last of Frank.
Yeah. And I know you were about to give me some stuff too. You were about to give me some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
About Boston. So.
Yeah. Well, I can't even get.
I'll let you take it. Go ahead.
I can't even give you this shit.
No. My man, Al Hartford.
Yeah.
Salutes.
Because I was with you. I ain't gonna lie. I was with you last episode. Somebody want to pull the tapes. I did go Milwaukee. I mean, Mavericks. I went Dallas. I ain't gonna front. But at the end of the day,
Did your wife go Boston?
my wife don't give a damn about no basketball, bro. like cats don't give a damn about no basketball, bro. I be trying to get her to watch with me since I met her, and she was there and closed her eyes. She said, "Why you?"
She called me a hater because I didn't play yesterday's game. Because I knew they were going to win.
Hey, listen, I fell asleep on purpose.
I had priorities, right? I had priorities. There's stuff more important
than watching a basketball game.
Like editing the videos to be able to give our imperfects. All right?
You see how you switched that up real quick?
Just
make sure.
Putting it out there.
But yo, now, in all honesty though, like I'm proud of the way that Al Horford did it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've never been a real KD fan, but when he went about going about his championship, the way he went about it, I didn't really respect it, right? I'm from the early school of where you got to build that. You got to go. You can't just tag along to get a chip. You got to go somewhere and build up from the mud up. And Al Horford, he's been a journeyman in the league, right? He's been to a few squads. The two that stick out to my mind right now is as long as he's been at was Atlanta and now Boston. And each place he went at, he's always played his butt off. He's always been a constant professional. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great glue guy, and he's always a great locker room dude everywhere he goes. And just from me knowing some dudes in the league and get a chance to talk about him, it's like he's always a solid dude, like a solid guy. Whether it be you need advice, you need, you know what I'm saying, anything that he can help with, he's always just willing to help. So just for the man, right? Damn the basketball player right now, but for the man Al Horford of doing it and going about the way he did, that's a true example of staying down and doing it the right way, man. So I take off my hat. I salute him above and beyond everybody else in that squad.
That is what it is, bro. Platano 100%.
Straight Platano. You know what I mean?
You already know.
Yo, we know the black folks say plantains. Y'all say Platano.
I told you last episode, bro. He would have been on any other team. I would have been die hard to that team.
Right. But
die hard.
Now we can't even rock. But now I ain't gonna lie to you too. But another brother that I want to give him his flowers to, and also point and laugh at somebody that did him dirty, was Drew Holiday. And I was thinking about this as I was watching the game, not last game, but the game before last. I said, yo, I really hope Drew Holiday wins another championship. Because for Milwaukee to trade him off the way they did, after he brought them the championship that he brought them. Because the truth of the matter is, yeah, Giannis is Giannis, but you can't have a championship team without a dominant point guard on the defensive end and controlling the game. Yo, Drew Holiday is that, and he did that in Milwaukee, but you decided you want to ship him for Dame. Dame ain't proved nothing nowhere else but Portland that he's hit some game-winning shots. But the man that's won you a chip, that you got a chip with, y'all don't stay down with, no, I was hoping he really got it. And the fact that he did, yeah, shout out to you, Milwaukee, because I'm glad that Drew Holiday is 2-time champion now with Boston after y'all let him go.
Shout out to Drew Holiday for holding that down.
Yes, indeed, man. And for the two fellas, for the two rocks and the young boys, you got to give it up to them too.
Yes, sir.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they took their lumps, bro.
I'm not gonna, just ride the wagon. I'm just gonna give them their props.
Yeah, you gotta give them their respect.
Give them their props.
I'm not gonna celebrate with them, but I'm gonna give them what's due to them. And
give them their props. That's it.
They had to go through their lump. If you look at all the great NBA teams, right? Like the Detroit's.
I sound like a true New York Knick hater.
Yeah. You're supposed to though.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Nick. Blue and orange. But you know that the Knicks ain't gonna see a championship until we change those colors.
Nah, until we change owners.
Nah. It's the colors. Look at the Mets.
Ooh. That's messed up. That's messed up. Why you do that? See, that's messed up. That's why that's payback right there. Why you do us like that? He said the Mets. True. When were they good? When my grandfather was watching, man.
I'm telling you, it's the colors, bro.
The orange and blue gotta go.
The colors.
But that's dope though. It go hard.
For some reason, they got us jinxed.
Nah, I think it's our owner, bro. James Dolan is trash.
At this point,
trash, bro.
We know that. But at this point, what are we gonna do? It's like when
you gotta let him die off. You know what I mean?
He ain't gonna sell.
Damn sure ain't.
He ain't gonna sell. He making too much money off that. He ain't gonna sell. So it's the colors, bro.
I think so. I think we might have to just ride it out, man. We gotta figure something out. But yo, for the entertainment of the sports, I appreciate it. I do. But for also the lessons and the storylines of sports is what I preach to my children on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I told my kids about Al Horford about how he had to stick with one thing. That was the story because I was like, yo, how can I use this to give them a lesson? And sticking down with something, staying with something is the part of the moral story I wanted to show to my kids because he didn't just get that championship because he got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some people that's walking around NBA championships right now just because they happen to be on a good team. Or they happen to just be on the squad or get picked or what have you. And they don't contribute, they just get a ring. But he was a contributor.
Yeah.
And he gave all the time of his body, even when he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of journeymen, you gotta salute. Yeah, and you gotta appreciate because that's rare these days, bro.
You have to, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate both sports this weekend, and it was dope. But also now, I gotta slap myself on the wrist, bro.
Okay, what'd you do?
I let us record the Father's Day episode without respecting the podcast, bro. Do you know that this podcast is literally 4 years old? Yep. This is where the podcast initiated from. Because 4 years ago, I got so frustrated with the narrative that was going around about how we're not needed, how we're not essential, and how all those things were just, that was the bell that was being rung around. And I got kind of upset about it. And I created this platform just for Father's Day. And a few of the fellows was like, yo, we should keep going with this. And at the time, I was doing another podcast called the Start Now podcast that I started. And I was like, yo, I can't really do this, bro. I can't do two podcasts at the same time, produce it, and keep everything going I got going. And the fellows like, no, we want to make it go. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, this one outlasts the test of time, man. It's been 4 years. So happy birthday to the podcast, man. Happy birthday to the podcast.
I remember when you started the Imperfect Fathers, that I started helping you in the background, trying to get some stuff together and whatnot with the 4 gentlemen that were with you.
KB.
3 gentlemen that were with you.
KB, Troy, and Swiss.
Shout outs to them.
Shout out to you fellas.
Being there at the beginning.
Indeed.
I remember we did a few meetings. We had a few calls.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
We were trying to set up some stuff and, we just ended up going each our own way. You guys kept going to podcasts. We kept in contact. I kept watching what you guys were doing and now I'm here with you guys.
Here we are.
Now I'm here with you.
Facts. Like it's it's crazy how like, and I was just telling my wife this. I was like, yo, we'll have a plan and of how we think things are gonna go, and literally God's up there laughing. It's like,
yeah, but it's funny how at the beginning when you started,
right,
when you guys started, I was there, so I could have been a part of it.
right. And we was trying to bring you as the audio
yes.
dude. Yes.
Yes.
I remember it now.
Yes.
I remember that completely. Yes. And it's crazy because it's like, even then, it was just like, yo, it was a happenstance. It just happened to happen.
Yeah.
Like, even like right now, like the phone call, the conversation, the reconnection, it's just God's work, like we said at the beginning of it. And I'm appreciative because I didn't see this coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like the punch that knocked out Frank, he didn't see coming. The things that we don't see coming sometimes either blindside us for the good or the bad. And this is definitely one of the things I can say was for the good.
And truthfully, at the end, most of the time it's for a good. Even when it's bad, it's a learning lesson. It's something to learn from.
True.
So as long as you're able to see the good side of everything that happens, even the bad, there's a light. The future's brighter.
Facts.
Like PBD says, the future is bright.
Facts. The future is bright. And that's honestly, bro, that's something that like should be something that we keep it as in the front of our mind, understanding that the future is bright, because without that thought process, you'll find yourself in a dark space, bro, because without a hope for tomorrow, sometimes today is ugly.
Hope.
That's a medicine. Hope. That's a medicine for us. So that's a quick little word for y'all out there. Don't lose your hope. Keep your future looking bright. If it's gray, if it's dark right now, rest on it and open your eyes and see a brighter tomorrow, because that's the only thing that's really keeping us going, bro. That hope for tomorrow.
That hope.
Especially when our today is tough.
You know how much a 2-minute, not even, a 30-second meditation. You just closing your eyes.
Medicine.
Things will get better. The future is bright. That makes a day of a difference.
Oh, you better believe it. Especially when you've done all you can. And this is why, like, when you're young and you hear things in church and in the Bible, they stick with you, but they don't resonate. And when you get old, you like, oh, that's what they meant. Because sure enough, I used to hear all the time, when you've done all you can to stand. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I've done all I can to stand. You told me to stand. But when you get older and you realize that I've done simply all I physically can do. And even done above and beyond that. And the only thing I can do now is just stand. And then you go a little further on the scriptures and you read, it says, just be still and know that I'm God. It's like, I'm done all I can. I can't do nothing else. I'm tired. I'm beat down. And all I have to do now is just stand and be still.
For he is God.
He's going to do it. Because this is what I love falling back on. He said his word can't come back to him void. So he can't be lying. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best part of it. Like, yo, he ain't lying. So at some point it's going to have to work. At some point.
Yes, sir. And it all goes down to hope.
Facts. And this ties into the next part of the conversation, the mental health. So we dibbled and dabbled last week in the area of it. But this is mental health month for us men. And I don't want this month to go past with us just grazing above it. You know what I'm saying? This is a real thing for us because a lot of us are not being honest, bro.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, we're dealing with things that we're just too prideful to say to each other we're dealing with. Like, for a spell in time in my life, I was struggling with the corn, right? And we gotta keep YouTube right. You know what I mean? If you don't know what the corn is, I don't know. You've been watching YouTube long enough. You should. But anyway, I was struggling with the corn, right? It just sounds crazy. And
for you guys out there that don't know, when he said that last week, I'm thinking to myself, what damn corn he talking about? Like, we're not making popcorn out here. We ain't eating corn on the cob. What the hell is he talking about? And then I said, oh, you mean corn the group?
And I'm over here like, yo, we recorded. I can't really say what I'm trying to say. I had to go away from the mic one time for him. Yeah, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go watch last week's episode. You'll know what we're talking about. But in that struggle though, bro, in the course of me struggling with that, I was so ashamed that I was struggling with it that I didn't want to tell nobody about it, right? And me not telling nobody about it kept me in such a guilty space of keeping myself secluded that even if somebody wanted to help me, they couldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But and the truth of the matter was, I was only scared of what somebody might have thought about me after they walked away and I've confessed whatever I confessed.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, if I didn't say nothing, and shout out to my man, who was to help me? My man Dawood. When me and him talked about it, he's like, bro, I'm not going to judge you. The first thing he said to me is like, yo, I'm not going to judge you, bro, because I've been through it. You know what that did for me, bro? Do you know how that set me free in that one moment? Because when I called him and we were talking about it, I was so embarrassed, bro. I was in my room, locked in a closet, talking mad low so nobody heard me. Because how do I tell my wife? How do I speak to my children? How do I say this?
Yeah.
Right? And keep that S on my chest. How do I say this and still be the leader of my home? While you struggling with corn?
Yeah. A lot of people deal with that in silence and it breaks them down.
But and then it torments you mentally. And here we are in mental health month. And now guess what? You're abusing yourself, number one, right? You're abusing the resource that God gave you. That's first and foremost, right?
The resource?
Yeah. Absolutely. You laughing, but it's the resource because and my mentors broke me down on that one.
It's kind of funny though, like in the perspective that we're putting.
Yeah,
right? Like, like I'm laughing because it's not because the situation is comical.
Right.
It's just looking at it in that perspective.
Right. The resource
makes it kind of comical.
It is a resource, you know what I'm saying? It repopulates, you know what I'm saying? It works its magic, you know what I'm saying? When it's in the right place, when it's on the floor, it's not
so
doing
sad that some people don't look at it as a resource.
But that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, until I did, I was abusing it. And shout out to Miles Monroe, God bless the dead. He said, you're bound to abuse something that you don't know its purpose. You're bound to abuse it. And for a young man who didn't know, right? Because there was no man to come and tell me about my sexuality. Yeah. It was only women that threatened me.
That wasn't a conversation back in the days.
Bro,
parents would not talk to their kids about.
This was a conversation that I had on an episode I did Dolo before we started recording. You guys go back and see it. And one of the clips from it was that simply, bro, do you know most of our young men's first conversation about sex, you know what that is? It's a threat. You know what that threat is?
Yeah.
Boy, you better not bring no girl in this house pregnant. Mind you, you don't even know what it does. You don't know how to use it. You don't know nothing about this thing. The only thing you know now is, I better not bring a girl in this house pregnant. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm now going to go amongst peers now.
Yeah.
Who don't have the knowledge. Obviously, we're all on the same playing field, but there's some who have what? Outside older brothers, information other than their own parents that they're now bringing to the table that guess what? Now all of us, we're going to ingest and take as law now.
Yeah.
So guess what's happening now? Porn is normal.
Oh, yeah, my brother's watching it.
All the kids are talking about it.
Cousins watching
right. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? But the truth of the matter is I've never been schooled literally about how precious that resource truly is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I haven't been told, yo, do you know that source, that source between your legs brings life? That's your first responsibility on earth, is to reproduce, to be fruitful and multiply is our first and main job on earth. And for us to take that as lightly as just to spill it, we slapping God in the face. And until my mentor, somebody as an older gentleman, right, that understood things, put that in perspective for me, I thought to myself, well, I just want to relieve myself. I wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to get it out. Rub one out, as we can say. But the embarrassment, right, that I was holding, and the guilt and the resentment, because, that's when you're in that space, and let's be honest, y'all, after you do it, you feel disgusting. You feel dirty. You feel like you're less than. You feel completely not a man.
That's once you become an adult, an understanding adult.
Right.
Because as a kid, you don't.
Oh no, it's pleasure.
What?
It's time to. I'm just letting this thing ring out. Shoot the gun out. You just letting it ring out. You know what I'm saying? Like when you a kid, you don't care.
I just killed 1 million.
Word, you like, yo, I got so much to give. Let me just.
Oh wait, I said that wrong. I just unlived 1 million. Unalived 1 million.
Yo, listen, it's so true, bro. And now as an adult, right, at this age and stage, when you're like, all right, there's something that has to change, the embarrassment and the guilt now begins to play in your mind.
Yeah, and the understanding what led you to that point, right? What led you to the point that now you have to seek self-pleasure.
Right.
Because you believe that's a necessity.
Right.
And truthfully, it's what we've spoken about before, is that emptiness that you're trying to fulfill.
Yes.
That emptiness that you're trying to fulfill, and that can be supplemented by seeking the true answer.
And honestly, bro, it's when you're talking about mental health, you can't really deal with your mental health until you get real with yourself.
Nope.
Right? Until you get rid of the facades, until you stop caring about what somebody else feels or thinks about you so much, to the point where you are looking to be better, right? Yeah. To somebody else's thought process or what they may think about you doesn't matter past your own thought process. That's when you want to get better.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a mental space about guilt and fear of judgment and all those things, that's only because you care more about what somebody else thinks about you rather than you getting better in the situation that you need to get better in. And it's a crippling space, though.
It's the lack of self-love.
Facts.
The lack of self-love. You need to dig deep within meditation and prayer and find how you can center yourself, so that you can find that deep place that you need to pull out from inside and say, you know what, this is what I can't have. This is what I can't have within me. I need to release this. This needs to get gone. It can't live within me no more. You're not paying rent.
Right.
You're not paying rent.
Here.
You can't stay here. You gotta go.
And one of my clients, we walked through the process of, like I told you before, about figuring out what the genesis of this stuff is. Like, because a lot of us, when we're searching for those spaces to fulfill those empty spaces in our lives, is because we haven't addressed them. You know what I'm saying? We haven't taken the time to really figure out, why do I feel like that's what I should be doing?
So let's dig a little bit deeper into that, right? So what type of advice would you give somebody that needs to address something like that? What should be the steps that they should take? If there were a 1 to 5,
right?
There were a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 10. What should be the steps that should be taken for them to be able to achieve the acknowledgement and find of that genesis that they seek, that's holding them back from becoming their better selves?
And I'm glad you asked that question, because this is what I get paid for.
Woo! Let's go. I'm getting it for free today, guys.
Yeah, you see what you did there, right?
Thank me.
Cash app them. So first and foremost, a part of the process that did, and it's going to sound funny because the wording of it, but it's something that I put every man and that I deal with through, and I'm not there when they do this. So it's called the butt naked process.
Okay.
The butt naked process is you got to strip. It is what it is. Strip down naked.
Girls, stop picturing it.
Well, behave yourselves, ladies. You get down yourself, and you got to be in front of a mirror. right? Because what we like to do a lot of times as men, we don't look at right now. We'll look at right now and try to justify it by yesteryear or tomorrow, right? Or I'm like this because I went through X, Y, Z, or before before this body, I had this other one. All these other things rather than what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And when you're staring at yourself in the mirror, butt naked, you have no other choice but to look at what's in front of you. You can't go to the future. You can't go to the past. It's right in front of you. And that's the first thing. You got to get centered. You got to understand, number one, I'm here. This is what I'm dealing with right now. This person in the mirror. I can't deal with the person I used to be because he's not here. I can't deal with the man that I'm trying to be because he's not here. I got to deal with the man that's in front of me. That's first. Because once we understand that we're dealing with the person that's in front of us right now, we can stop convoluting our mind and thought process of how to help the man in front of us based upon what we've been through or where we're trying to go. It's a right now fix that you got to fix right now. It's not based on yesterday or tomorrow. So that's the first thing. Second,
and just so you guys know, there's a lot more detail to that. We're just giving you the surface.
Yes. There's no way in time restraints right now that I can go through this entire process. I'm literally going to give you the cliff notes.
The cliff notes.
Cliff notes to the process. Now,
welcome to the Imperfect University.
I like that. We might have to coin that one. Perfect University. I like that. You got a ring to it.
Damn, bro, I'm coming up with all.
Yo, I know. I'm saying, yo, listen, we gonna put you in front and play the Chat GPT. We don't need it. We got Jose over here, baby. Word out. We gonna put that on a t-shirt too. So the next phase is literally now it's time for us to do what I like to call the 4 E's, right? Evaluate, eliminate, educate, execute.
Evaluate, eliminate, educate, execute.
Yes. Evaluate. Now in the mirror, right? We're here. Evaluate it. What do you see right now? Right? Let's take an audit. It's time to be real with yourself. What do you see in that mirror? I don't care if you're happy with it, you're displeased with it. What do you see? What's there? What's in front of you? What are you dealing with right now, right? And once you see that, let's deal with it. Let's write it out. All the issues that you can see right now in front of you. Because that's what an audit is. When you go in, you're at work and you're dealing with a situation, it's time to get them audits. Yeah. And your boss is walking around with the stick up their ass because they're scared and everything else is happening. Because audits bring about information that nobody really wants to deal with, right? That's why you got to evaluate yourself. You got to come up with stuff that you know is not serving you to be the individual you're trying to be. Now, after you do your evaluation, it's time to eliminate.
Eliminate.
It's time to eliminate everything that you see in front of you that you know is not serving the person that you're going to be, because it served you to get to where you are.
But isn't that easier said than done?
Everything is that. Everything is that. What else? What's harder to do than what's easier to do than say, I'll wait. Like
we're still waiting. You're still waiting?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
And you're going to be that way for a while.
Let's go to the next one.
Word. So, and now what you're in this phase of eliminating now, right? You're eliminating every excuse. You're eliminating everything that's not going to serve you to go forward. Now that's going to be people, places, things, relationships, hard things. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a very, very uncomfortable phase. Getting away from things that brought you to where you are, that no longer serves you.
Which can also include porn and corn.
Facts. It served you. Now it's no longer serving the man that you are and you're looking to become. So now, after you've gotten through the phase, because that's going to be a tough one. The elimination phase is tough. Not going to lie. Now it's time to educate yourself. And you would say, wow, educate. What kind of books and all those things? Not the kind of education. It's time to educate yourself about you. Trying to learn more about you. What drives you? Do you know what makes you go? Do you know what makes you you? Who are you? Why are you here?
That's a good one. Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Because we're supposed to be man created in the image of God.
Right.
So who are you? Trying to find that answer has to be a real soul seeker.
It is, but it's one of the most easiest answers you could ever have in your life when you understand it.
Once you understand.
Once you understand it.
See, because as for what I'm understanding here, that not from what I'm understanding, but from what I know that, you know, and speaking to you, there's a process.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can't just wake up one day and say, I'm me. Oh.
You can.
Yeah, but
But it don't mean that. You can wake up in the morning and say whatever you want. But it's the test of the day is going to tell you the truth.
There's a lot more that goes into it, and a lot of soul seeking.
Absolutely.
And speaking to yourself, and meditation, and prayer, and
absolutely,
and everything within that realm to be able to find who you are.
And when you understand, and this is something that I embody. It's not about just who you are; it's whose you are. Right? Because your identity comes from where you've come from, right? Your DNA is matched by your mother and your father. That's where you've come from.
Wow, my grandfather used to say, you are of two families, the one that you belong to and the one that belongs to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you realize that my definition of who I am is based upon from whose I am, your only definition when you get this understanding is somebody asks you who I am. I am. Because I am my Father in one. Right? Whose am I? I'm a child of the King. So once I know whose I am, right, I have a clear identity. And shout out to Myron Golden. Myron Golden, he's a reason why I added this to my practice as well. We get caught up in our lie identity, right? That's what the world tells us that we are, that we're not, right? And then because of our lie identity, we defend ourselves with our my identity. That's the whole thing that we tell ourselves that we are. But our identity comes from God, the Creator, where we came from. So once you understand that, you understand who you are and whose you are, man, can't nobody do nothing with you. But that's the educational part, right? So now, after education, now it's time for I said education, I always get confused. Evaluation, elimination, education, execution. Now, everything that you've learned, it's time to put to practice. It's time to set those disciplines in order because you got to move towards the person you just found out that you're supposed to be because now you have your identity. It's time to move towards that. How do you move towards it? Every single day building stepping stones to get towards that. So if it's not inside of the moral compass of who you are now, who you're working to be, it is now supposed to be eliminated.
Basically, rebuilding yourself and becoming the man that you're supposed to be is just about the same thing. Is just about the same as breaking an addiction. It's
Absolutely.
Just about the same as breaking an addiction, where you when you get to the point of execution, you better have all this written down. You better have who you are and everything that you've already experienced.
You're going to need it.
Written down and for you to be able to examine every day. Yeah. Because from here on out, if you don't want to turn back to being that person that you once were, you need to go back to your resources and say, I am he. I am of whom. This is who I, and be able to move forward. And
to that point, and as people don't understand, and most guys that I coach and young guys think that when I say state your affirmations, I'm saying it for facade or happenstance or just cliche, right?
If they only knew
what you're doing,
bro,
and what they do for you psychologically, what they do for you from saying things, reading it over and over again, telling yourself from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. They don't realize how truly powerful that is, man, because when anytime you brainwash anybody, it's a constant repetition of anything. Yes. Michael Jackson said it. If you want to see a young man change, give him a music album and watch what happens to him.
Yes.
So it's a constant repetition of things that changes us. So we got to remind us on a day, like you said, on a day-to-day basis, when you in that stage of execution, you got to remind yourself, because life is going to life. And this is one thing I really want to point out too. Fellas, whenever you make a commitment or a decision to do something, the very next thing is going to show up is a distraction.
Yes.
Please stop getting deterred.
Yes.
Please stop getting turned around. Please stop getting set back, because I'm telling you, the moment you make a decision and say, I'm going to do this thing, distraction is going to show up. Yes. Case in point, me and Jose said we're going to go back. If you go back and check the timeline of the podcast, you can see it in the gaps. Oh yeah, we're going to start the podcast and we're going to do X, Y, Z. Months went past, because every single time we went to go do something, something happened. Something happened.
And it still keeps happening.
Right, even to this day.
Still keeps happening.
Even to this day.
We're supposed to record on Mondays.
What's today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. Something always happens for it to be, and we have to put our effort and foot forward to say, no, this is going to go down regardless of what the devil is trying to do here, trying to stop us from giving our message and letting people know that they are loved, letting men know that they are loved and and that we have their back. We're going to keep pushing.
Facts, bro.
He's not going to stop us. And it's been continuous.
Yeah. Yo, and
this is continuous.
This is why I say, for no matter what we got going on, we got to go forward, because it's not just about this podcast growing. It's about the message behind it, because life is going to life, y'all. Right? Life is going life. Like, we can't get away from that. And this is something that, talking about mental health, that we have to understand. Like, get out of what you think life is and understand what life is. It's something you can't control. It's something that you're going to have to deal with, something new. Each time you pass one stepping stone, a new one's coming up. There is no rest to this thing called life. It's a simple task that's going to repeat itself each and every day. And we got to be okay with that.
And the mission that we've placed on ourselves is one person that we touch is enough.
Facts.
That's all we care about. One person that we can touch, it makes everything that we go through worth it.
Facts.
Beneficial every day. So besides the time that we spend here recording and the conversations that we have, the education process that comes in behind it, right? Because for us to be able to come here and be able to give everybody good advice and try to guide everybody to the best of our ability, we have to educate ourselves as well. And it's not just grabbing a phone and look. No, it's 5-6 hours outside of everything else that we do that goes into that education, because the last thing we want to do is give anybody misinformation.
And bro, and
misguidance.
And this is why I love this podcast, because I get a chance to be really transparent about things like this. Like, as a men's coach, bro, like when it's time for me to go sit down and study, I don't want to a lot of times, right? I don't want to a lot of times better myself, right? For lack of better words, I don't want to do it sometimes. But what reminds me and keeps me going is that if I don't fill myself up, right? If I don't pour into myself, I can't pour from an empty cup. And if the people who are depending on me to pour come to me with their hands out open, and I don't have anything to give them, I don't have a problem with them. I got a problem with God, because they didn't give me my job. This is not something I was given by man. And this is why a lot of people ask me, yo, what kind of certifications? Your life brought me here.
Yeah.
If I sat down and told you a majority of my experiences, you would just let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because simply, God brought me here. I'm not here because, like I say all the time, because I'm so good, bro. I'm not sitting here because just by chance, I like just run my mouth and helping men. No, God put me here, and trust me when I tell you, some days I ask him, take this cup from me. Because it gets heavy, bro.
It's not easy.
Because at the same time, I'm talking to you about what's going on in your life. Who helps the helper? When I get off the phone, right? And before I got on the phone, me and my wife going back and forth. But kids is out of line. Bills is up to Yahoo. That pauses while I get on this phone, this microphone, and hey, how you doing today? All right, how you doing? Mind you, I got bills. My wife is not pleased. My children are going haywire. I don't know how it's going to make. I don't know what's going to happen next. Car troubles. All these things are happening while I'm performing, right? But then when the lights go off, these microphones go off, it's just me in my office. It's me and God. So I don't play with this. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down, and that's why I'm so passionate about this process, because that's not something I read, bro. I had to live that shit. Do you know what it feels like to break yourself down when there's no one else around? As a young man that didn't have nobody else to tell him, yo, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I came to South Florida with nothing else other than to know how to sell drugs. That's all I had, bro. The ability to sell drugs. And here I am, 11 years later, I'm a businessman. You can't tell me God ain't good, bro. You can't tell me what real commitment won't do for you. Because as I'm sitting here right now getting emotional, that 5E I told you about, I learned that in a car on the way to buy weed, bro. I learned that process in spending my last dollars to get to a friend's house to buy some weed because I had no other way to deal with my emotions. I felt lost down here. I came down here with nothing, no connection to sell no drugs. I knew nobody down here, and I came down here with a woman that's looking at me like, yo, what you got me down here for? What you gonna do with me down here? No father telling me what to do. Because what people don't realize is that when a son sees his father, he sees his future. And when a father sees his son, he sees his legacy. I've never seen my future. All I see is my legacy. And I'm damn proud of that, bro. Because where I am today is not where I want to be. But guess what? I didn't know I was going to be here. So I'm damn proud of where I am. And I'm going to go harder to keep going to go where I'm supposed to be. But the man that I am right now, because of those 4 E's I told you about, I built my entire legacy on it. And I'm standing 10 toes on it because it worked, bro. It turned my life around. God's help, bro. And those 4 E's is why I'm sitting here right now. And this is why all this is happening right now. This is why I'm coaching the men that I'm coaching. I've been in business now for 3 years, bro. 3 years. You know, businesses don't make it past the first 2. Yeah. My mentor had to shut me down one day. He was like, yo, I want you to shut up complaining. You made it through the hardest part of business, and you're still here. Mental health is real, bro.
Yes, it is.
Until we start taking the time to do the work and seeing things for what they really are and being honest with ourselves, we're never going to be healthy. That's the first step. Fuck everything else. Let's be real about the truth about what we're dealing with. Where are you right now? Who are you right now? Are you happy with who you are right now? The man that you stand in front of in that mirror right now, is he somebody you will claim with closing your eyes and having the last day on earth with right now? And if you're not, get to work.
Sir.
Get to work.
Sir.
We didn't even get a chance to, we got a few minutes. So I do want to tap into this right here because I didn't realize we
went ham.
We went hard on that. And it was crazy because the 5 E's and all that stuff wasn't expected.
Yeah, that was not written down.
It wasn't on the card, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you gave me something that I do want to talk about, and it might get a little spicy. So it's good that we put it at the end.
Okay.
So we're gonna use this for am I the only one this week? No, I'm not the only one. I'm not dealing with this. Just put this out there because I know how you come for me, and am I the only one? So no, this is not me.
I think we can skip "Am I the only one" and get into this because it's going to bring up some heat.
All right, so this is what it is. Mother of 4 kids, 4 different kids.
This, by the way, this was a article I came across on. It wasn't even an article. It was a post on Instagram. Mm. And I sent it to Doc and said, we got to talk about this because this right here.
Yeah. It's something to talk about. It's something to talk about. All right. So a mother has 4 kids, right? By 4 different fathers. Right? Only one father is active of the 4. His son wants a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. So he sends the money to the mother for the PlayStation 5. The mother, instead of buying the PlayStation 5, divides the money evenly between the kids instead of getting the kid their video game.
Instead of getting his son
the PlayStation 5.
The PlayStation 5, she divided the money amongst all four children evenly.
And the question leads, is she wrong? So, Jose, the man that designed this question for the episode, I'm going to put my interview hat on first before I get into my selected choice of words towards it. I'm going to put my interview hat on and ask you, sir, how do you feel? First and foremost, is she wrong?
First of all, I'm going to start by saying this.
First of all,
the reason I waited so long to have kids was because I wasn't going to have kids all over the place. So that I don't so that I don't have to experience a situation like this.
Talk about it. Because they'll hear me when I say Jose. Talk about it. They don't hear me when I say it.
I've seen it. Now, not this per se, but I've seen the frustration that kids go through when they have 3, 4 baby daddies. No, stepfathers, or going through 3 or 4 stepfathers, and having to deal with that situation. The type of mental the type of trauma that they endure, because the mental trauma that they endure. So I always said, since I was young, I would never see myself in that situation.
Facts.
As long as God helps me, I would never see myself in that situation. And I have to say, our Father Almighty helped me find my way, and I have an amazing wife.
Yo, I salute the fact that we give God the credit for that, because he gives the credit for everything. But we got to start giving ourselves the credit for discipline, because that's what these young men need to understand. You didn't just by happen chance not make babies randomly. It was a concentrated effort. That was intentional.
Yes.
This is what we have to stress to these young men, bro. It's not about, I made a mistake. It's about being disciplined before you make the mistake.
Wait, but one thing that you missed from that article is that she had 4 different baby daddies.
Oh, no, I said that.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
Oh, yeah, no. And
it's 4 different baby daddies, 1 active.
And this is what I'm saying to the other, because.
So if the 4 different baby daddies isn't a red flag, my man, you got issues.
And for the so, excuse me. So misinformation and all those things, misleading and all those things, right, could happen amongst that play. But once you realize she's not 1 baby daddy in, not 2 baby, sweetheart, you 3 baby daddies in? First of all, the 4th baby daddy should be slapped. Bro, you didn't see the warnings? You didn't see the, and let's wait, I'm not even gonna address the 4 dudes.
This is gonna be some mean triggers. Get ready for this.
I'm not even gonna address the dude just yet. Let's talk about this queen. Sweetheart. Woo, sweetheart, I'm going to talk to you, number one, as a brother first and foremost. I have a sister I love dearly. Shatina, shout out to you. That's my boo. My one and only blood sister. And I have a part sister, LaQuasia, shout out to you too. If I'm talking to her, right, you made 1 mistake, right, by choosing the wrong individual to be with. That's a mistake. The child was born out of it. The child's not a mistake. It's a gift from God. The relationship that you had wasn't supposed to have. The mistake. Learn from it. We got to learn from our mistakes. We can't keep repeating the same things over and over again. It can't keep happening this way. First and foremost. Number 2, if you've seen yourself going down a road of destruction, why continue to go? Why? There are other ways to go about this. What are you lacking? What do you need? What are these men telling you that's tickling your ear, that's making you forget that there's somebody's going to happen later on in 9 months that you got to deal with?
There's a lot of daddy issues.
Absolutely.
That are deep in that. Truthfully, I would believe they haven't forgiven. They haven't forgiven, and until they don't dig deep and say,
but bro, that's still the same thing about drinking the poison, hoping daddy die, bro. That's still you drinking the poison, hoping somebody else dies. You gonna keep crucifying your body for all these men to run up in you, leaving these children behind because you still want to drink the poison and poison somebody else? No. I'm not gonna sit around and accept that.
But that's not what I meant by it. It's not them drinking the poison, trying to kill somebody else. The reason behind it is trying to seek that attention that they never got, trying to find that attention that they never got. So therefore, they look for it in the wrong places.
Yeah.
They allow the wrong things to be absorbed. They allow to see past the actual red flags that are in front of them and say, well, I think he can be better. I think he can be great.
But my thing is this, that's never been proven. And you can't base your life off of a potential. And this is why I say you date for potential. You don't marry potential.
Sadly, that happens a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And this is why I'm on the case about it. This is why I'm gonna talk my shit about it. And this is what
sadly, there's a lot of women marry the expectation and not without actually learning who the person that they're with
or
is.
seeing the fruit from the tree. Yo, if a tree is an apple tree, at some point an apple gonna come off that motherfucker, bro.
If you are dating a man and that man has a child outside, has already a child, and you see that this man does not try to seek his child, there's always circumstances.
Yeah.
But you can tell when this person is actually in pain because they can't see their child,
right,
and is trying to seek for their child, right, or is fighting to see their child, right? Compared to just chilling and hanging out and clubbing and smoking and drinking and fucking and
you know what's crazy about even that statement?
And never sees their kid.
To that
you
point,
gonna have a kid with this?
Yeah, they will. Yo, so check this out. I've seen situations where the girl, I'm trying to protect people right now. I've seen situations where the girl would ask, yo, bro, you've been over here for a month. Not once have you talked about your kids. Like, what's up with them? He nonchalantly was like, oh yeah, I take care of them. I pay the bills and all that.
And we just flipped it over on the men. This isn't about the men here.
Nah, but because everybody's at fault on this one.
Everybody is at fault.
Everybody's at fault on this one, bro. Because at the same time,
at fault.
I'm tired of pointing the fingers. It's time for us to point the fingers at ourselves on some G shit, bro. Because I don't know what's going to take. What's it going to take for our girls to understand, yo, if he's not showing you the fruit of his labor, don't give him nothing. Yo, one of my coaches told me this, and I thought this was so funny when I heard him say this, but now I'm like, yo, he might be up to something. He was like, yo, if girls made dudes read 3 books before they slept with them, you know how smart men to be? Like if you had to have a book limit to get some booty, some cheeks.
Yo, that is
you know how many books ninjas will read?
A man is always gonna go as far as the woman lets him. Always.
That's the boundary.
And if you as a woman don't set your boundaries and your worth, then we're gonna slide right through you.
Yeah, that's a fact. There's no lube, but we gonna give you that raw daddy.
And you see how I said we're because it's men.
Period.
In general, if you don't tell this guy if you don't tell this guy as a woman, listen, I can't sleep with you until I marry you. You know what's going to happen? He going to look at you as that. Yeah. If the first day that you guys dated, let's not take it to the married part because there can be circumstances.
Right.
But if the first day that you guys went out on a date, you guys just met, next day you guys went out on a date, and you guys are smashing that same day, that's how much you're worth to him.
Facts.
That's how much you're worth to him.
Yeah. You took me that been relayed on that statement. Whoa. Yeah. Like, yo, you don't hold no value. You don't hold no value. I'm not trying to say this to degrade.
And if you two by any chance end up living together, your relationship was doomed since the day you guys laid together. Because you guys are not gonna last.
Yo.
Very, very small amount of people can last after that. Why? First, the guy has to be a cuck.
Yeah.
I hate you do that. Because for you not to understand what just happened, that you just seeped your whole soul into somebody the first day that you met her, and you expect bro.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep it together right now. Oh man. If you don't know the word you use it right now, look it up. That's all I'm saying. Just look it up. Let's look it up.
Yeah, for real. Homie must be walking around with a fucking chastity belt. Because it's crazy. It's crazy.
A chastity belt is wild.
This is nuts. Listen, I get it.
Now.
It happens.
Well,
and you know what? May it be at the point where the person that the two that slept together are able to respect each other to the point and say, you know what? We can make this work. Amen. I wish that was the case. But the reality is that that's not the case.
Nah. And in most cases, it doesn't work out. Like, I always say that I can't preach from my own Bible, right? Because my Bible doesn't hold any weight. It's the good books that really matters. Because if somebody looks at my story, it'd be like, well, bro, you met your girl, y'all chilled for a week, y'all met each other, chilled off and on for 4 weeks, and then before y'all know it, y'all slept together and y'all lived each other and haven't loved each other since. That's my story, right? And I had to go to God about doing things the wrong way. You understand? I had to pay my price. And I always tell people, don't live your life based upon me banging my head, because you don't know if you can bang your head as hard as me and still survive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the way I did things is not the right way. It's just how I did it. And
let's put that into perspective, because I can probably say the same as you. And my story isn't the story that I need to lead by. I need to lead by the story that's in the great book.
Right.
Right. But the reality is that because of how we did things, we've seen turmoil within our relationships.
Yeah. We paid the cost to be here.
You get what I'm saying? It's not that it was oh yeah, it happened, and yeah, we've had 20 years of loving. No.
I wasn't ready.
Listen, my wife is 5 feet tall, and she get angry enough to look 6'5". I feel like I'm looking up at her sometimes. But it's because of how we establish things. But the difference was that we were already in the process of maturing, or mature enough to understand this is a great person I have next to me.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm 20, 21, banging the same day we meet.
Yeah, I don't value you. And honestly, I'm gonna be real. Like, and this is me speaking. When I was in the age of stage, if I laid down with you on the first day, or like we got busy right away, it's like I don't even want to see you after I'm done with you.
Or these kids,
just to be real.
Or now these kids from now that at the age of 12, 13, 14, they're out here thinking that it's a game. that sex is a game, not understanding the actual consequences of it. Because to them, it's just about being cool with their friends.
It's about saying and talking and have that.
I did it, and I did this, and it felt like this, and you don't listen here.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Consequences is real.
Yeah, and they're lasting. They're life-lasting consequences.
That's what I'm always saying, that it making temporary decisions for lifetime results.
Yeah, yo, listen. One thing my mother used to tell me all the time is that it takes you a second to get in trouble, but a lifetime to get out of it.
Yup.
And all it takes is that one time. That's all it takes. One time. And your life will never be the same again.
And the day as men, we understand what I was telling you earlier, that every ass pulls milk.
Yeah.
You'll stop trying to put your thing in every butt that you see.
Hey, yo, and let me tell you something. Back to the story about this case right here. Fellas, stop getting caught up in what it feels like rather than what your future looks like. Because what it feels like in the moment, we know what it feels like. It's heaven on earth, y'all. Let's just call a spade, bro. Like, there's no place better. Yep. Right? Like, that's where God is giving us as a gift. That place, that pleasure place is something that is the greatest place on earth, but it's not to be played with. It's not to be taken lightly. And it's not to be used as just something to pass time, right? Like, we almost got to the point where, in our era, where it was just happenstance. Oh, yo, I'm bored today. Let me go get some cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about that.
The booty calls.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what I don't want to get either. I don't want to be that guy to where we get too old and we get removed from that space, and now we're talking to the kids from this I've never done nothing wrong space.
Yeah, that
you
doesn't
feel what
work.
I'm saying? At all.
That doesn't work.
And they see right through it, bro.
Yep.
They see right through it because
you're gonna tell me that you ain't when your mother and your father try to act saintly, that you ain't see through it. So it's the same thing.
Yo, and I had to get at one of these mothers just recently. One of the girls was doing something at a we was at a car wash, at one of those self-serve car washes. And the girls was dancing to the song. Now, the song was crazy. It's one of those wow songs that they first of all, the girls shouldn't even listen to anyway. That's the problem I had with the mother. But the way they were dancing, they weren't provocatively dancing. It wasn't like they was twerking and all that. They was dancing amongst them and just being silly, right? The mother was like, oh, that's y'all little fast behinds. And I was like, wow. They're fast. But the music that you're letting them listen to is what they're dancing to, number one. And that ain't even dance provocative. And then I also said to myself, let me look at you. You look you about in your what? Late 30s, early 40s? Oh, you was twerking with Juvenile. Back that thing up. I bet you right now, if I turn that song on, you put your hands on your knees and show me what time it is. And go further back. Our moms, aunts, Uncle Luke was turning them out, right? Yeah, I'm going there, moms. I'm going there, aunties of that age. Because what I'm not going to do is sit here and allow y'all to pretend for these young kids like y'all wasn't out here doing what they was doing, or if not worse, because there was no cameras around. So yeah, I'm going there. And Jose, you welcome. So because he told me I've been playing too safe right now, and I'm not going to play safe no more. I'm going at your head. So every auntie and mom out there that's talking shit to these young girls, yeah, go to your closet. Go back into your deep secrets, and then go back and talk to your daughters.
Yo, Ma, Thea, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he do.
I'm gonna play it safe because I gotta go see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yo, hey, let me tell y'all, Thea, he's the reason I'm talking like this. I'm playing it too safe. But it's true though, Jose. You're right there. And I'm going to start saying these things, and because at the end of the day, if we don't say it, it's never going to be said, bro. And we're going to keep having these same problems because we never call them out.
Yeah, we definitely need to parent a little bit differently, right? Like I get it. There was a older man on the block that used to say, your mother's a saint because she's your mother.
Fact. That's the only reason.
And being a kid, you don't understand that, right?
Right.
It's the OG talking, right?
It's kind of scary.
And then you grow up And then you grow up. But see, he wasn't saying it like to me per se. He was saying it to a group of kids on the block. He was saying, your mother's a saint because she's your mother. And you grow up and then you start thinking about that, right? You start putting that into perspective and you start thinking that it's not only about your mother, it also has to do with your grandparents and your father and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Because they portray an image of I've never done anything wrong, especially where we come from, right? From where from Dominican Republic, our parents born, raised Catholic, where standards are like this, but everybody does their thing on the side, done quiet, trying not to let it be known. We, because of the generation that we live in and how technology has evolved our children and how they have everything in the palm of their hands, we need to educate differently. Absolutely. We can't come over here trying to blow smoke up their ass and think that they're gonna believe what we're saying. No, we have to be as truthful and as transparent as possible so that they understand I was your age.
Right.
I did what you did.
Facts.
You can't play with me because you know what? Whatever you get away with is because I'm letting you get away with.
Yo, do you know, it's a lyric, I forgot who said it, but it says, your future is my past. I've already done that already. So what we have to do as parents, and I'm not even on the kids right now, I'm on the parents, but this one is like, you didn't get reborn when your children was born. What you did before they was here didn't get wiped away.
It didn't.
That existed. You was that person. And what you're trying to hide and facade and keep up right now is going to be the very thing that bites you in the ass when that child finds out that you've been holding on and lying all this time.
When I was younger, somebody, I had gone to DR to visit, and somebody told me a story about my mother that put the fear of God in me. Put the fear of God in me.
Yeah, those stories about your people that before you get here, you like, oh, they did that?
Bro, so supposedly a fight had broken out in the country, right? And my mother ran out the house with a machete and grabbed the man by his neck and put him against a wall and put the machete across his neck, was about to chop his head off. I'm like, my mom did that. I'm gonna leave her alone. I guess I'll never fuck with her again.
Right.
She might just cut my head off.
Yo, so but you heard a story, right? I seen something. And this is, and we one of those tangents right now because we're supposed to be talking about this right here.
Bro.
So your cousin was right. We are tangent magnets. We do go on tangents.
Shit.
But before I get back to the story, I got to tell you what I saw. So now I'll never forget this because my mother snatched me out of the bed one night. Now we lived in Left Rack and my grandmother lived in Queens. So it took us about a good 20 minutes to get from our house to hers. But I'll never forget, I was in the bed and I was going to sleep and she snatches me out of bed, let's get in the car. And I mean, in pajamas. So, I didn't get a chance to get changed nothing. So I'm in my pajamas and my slippers and I'm getting in the car and it's cold in New York, so I'm bundled up. We get to the house and when your mother gives you directions before you get into a space, it's serious. And you better follow those directions to a T. So we're on the elevator going to my grandmother's house. She goes, get upstairs. You're going to go in your grandmother's house. You're going to sit on the couch and you're not going to move and you're not going to open your mouth.
Those are the everyday instructions whenever you go out the house.
I was like, okay. Like it's granny, so it's not usual. This is my grandma's house. I can do whatever I want in her house. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being told to sit down and be quiet. Totally unusual. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Now, what happened was in the background is that my aunt had one of her friends over the house, and her little friend decided she was gonna mouth off at my grandmother, and like talk back to her and get smart with her, whatever she said. But whatever she said caused my grandmother to call my mother. Dear God. When we got there, I sat on the couch, and now, back in the day, grandma's house was plastic on the couch.
Yeah.
So, I sat down, just like sitting there. I ain't trying to move, you know what I mean? I'm trying to sit down and be quiet.
Bro, I'm trying to conserve these sofas to last them a lifetime, bro.
Yo, 2 lifetimes. So much the plastic went from regular clear to brown. Remember?
Yo, that was the first time you ever experienced oxidation.
Facts. And especially when it's stuck to your skin. The worst when you felt take a nap there.
There goes another tangent.
Yo, so check it. So I'm sitting on the couch, right? And I know it's beef because I hear my aunt go, yo, Sharon, no. Sharon, no. Sharon. And then, boom, boom, boom.
Golly, those sound effects
happened in there. Now the door is closed, Jose. The door is closed. I'm in the living room. The next thing I know,
I just started.
Yo, Jose, no cap, Jose. The noise I heard was the door opening and the girl's body flying across the hallway. No lie. I'm on the couch and she's come skidding across and lands there. And I'm just looking at her and she looks at me with the look of like help.
Yo,
like, bitch,
you know when somebody's from New York, when they add the beep boom pop boom to the conversation.
Yo, who was that? Tony Ayo tell the story? I paid.
And I caught him with the beep boom pop boom. And you already know what happened because the beep boom pop boom.
That's how we tell the story. That's how we gotta make sure you feel it, right? We gotta get the feeling with the story. But yo,
but hold on, what was the silence?
She said, boom, 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 boom. Yo, so hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. When that girl flew in front of me, I thought to myself, oh, my mother's going to jail today. Like, this is it. Like, this is gonna be a time that I see her go to jail. She came in the living room behind her, and I'm like, yo, girl, get up. Like, I want her to get up and just go. She almost was so disoriented, she didn't know where to go. She went towards the kitchen. That wasn't where the front door was. So my mother grabbed her and threw her down the hallway to leave the apartment, and she beat her down the hallway. Yo, by the time she got her out of the apartment, she had tore the apartment up. And I said to myself, I'm never playing with my mother, bro. Because that was a big girl she did that to. Like, I'm only like 70 pounds at the time. Like, there's no way I could withstand that.
If she was to hit you, it'd be like, boom.
Boom. That's it.
That is it. Here comes my boom.
Boom. That's it. That's it, bro. So that's what I knew that my mother wasn't to be played with. Like Sharon Rhodes is not to be played with, bro. And it's crazy because even later on in life, she still thought she had that.
Yo, my aunt called me the other day to tell me about me talking about the pinches that I said in the other episode. She told my mother, so you already know my mother called me out on it.
You about to get pinched when you see her.
Sorry. I just had to bring that up.
You see me with my arms too. I feel bad. He going to DR in a couple of weeks to see mom, so it's about to be a wrap for him. So, yo, but hold up, back off the tangent we went on before we get up out of here. Now she's dead wrong for that, bro. And the question was, is she wrong for taking the money that the one active father gave her to give that one kid the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, we definitely need a moderator, bro.
Yeah, we definitely need a moderator. I know. We need our version of what's her name on Cameron May's show? Stat. We need our own stat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need a moderator. So yeah, I also believe that she was extremely wrong in that case.
But let me ask you a question, bro. And her being wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does she do that? How does she, as a mother of those children, go get that one gift for that child?
But is that she buys that gift for that one child?
They're all gonna play on it.
They're all gonna play on it.
Right. I get.
You
right?
get what I'm saying?
That I do get.
Truthfully, you can end up getting the PlayStation in the house and say, hey, this is a gift for all. Talk to the baby daddy. Let him know, yes, it's a gift for your son. Completely get it, but understand that we have 4 other kids here in the house, right. But you don't split the money amongst all 4 of them.
That. Because he gave it to you for a reason.
With a purpose.
Specific purpose. Absolutely.
With a purpose.
So
and that happens.
Absolutely.
It happens a lot, bro. It happens a lot. How many stories do we hear of kids that are walking out with no shoes? Or raggedy beat up shoes. Hold on. Raggedy beat up shoes that they send them back to the father's house with raggedy beat up shoes and raggedy clothes. Yeah. But they're paying their child support. They're giving money on a weekly or whatever the case. Yeah. And homie out here, nails all done, hair did, clubbing every weekend. Yeah. Like, make that make sense.
Right.
Make that make sense. You get what I'm saying?
And I'm in that demographic because my wife works in the school, and that's the demographic that she works with, and it's sad because even right now she's starting a business for the kids, and she got grants for these parents for the program she created, where that they don't have to pay the full price. They only have to pay $200 out of the $1,000, right? And the parents who have the lashes, the long extensions, and the bedazzles and all these things, they don't want to pay the fragment for their child's education, but she'll spend the $300 for him to put on his feet, right? Like you'll dress him up when it's time for the quote unquote get fly days in school. The kid is dressed down to a T. When it's time to invest into their future,
or the $500 for your weed.
Ooh, you said it, not me. They'll come at you about that. I come at you about that. That weave.
If you could come at me all you want. If your child is looking raggedy,
talk about it.
And you out here in the weave,
facts.
We got problems.
Yeah,
we got problems.
I ain't got nothing but smoke for you.
We got problems.
I have nothing but smoke for you.
Now, your son looking fly Diddy all day, every day, and you got a weave.
Congratulations.
You took care of him first.
Do your numbers.
Do what you got to do, play.
Keep your horse mane kicking.
But make sure little homie.
Right, he should be right.
Is right first.
Yeah, he's right. Absolutely.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, my kid's gonna look fly all day.
Yeah. They're gonna look better
I could walk out here in Pumas for all I give a damn.
Yeah.
I could walk out here in samurais, them plastic, the samurais are, look it up. the Dominican chanclas. I could be out here in damn samurais. And make sure, but as long as my kids are good.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Because you don't represent yourself no more. It's not about what you look like. It's about what your child looks like. It's about the investment you're making into them. And it's not so much about name brands and all these things, but are they clean?
Are they clean?
Are they upkept?
Are they fed?
Are they taken care of? Like, you know what I'm saying? To the best of your ability, because some people's ability might just be brushing their hair and combing their hair and make sure that they're clean.
Yes.
Their clothes might not be the best. Okay,
and
cool.
That doesn't matter.
That's
not what we're talking about. That's not what we're leaning towards.
We're talking about, making sure that to the best of your ability that child is seen and cared for. Period.
Yes. You're not gonna tell me that you're out here walking around in Louis Vuittons and your son is out here in Jesus slippers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or your daughter's out here in Jesus slippers.
Yeah, Jesus slippers is wild.
Like
crazy.
that. Like we got to make it make sense, right? You can't tell me you have $2,000 pair of shoes on, but your son is looking raggedy or your daughter is looking raggedy. That doesn't make sense.
Nah, and you can't.
And it can't be justified.
Nah.
There's no justification.
It's just your priorities are still messed up, and yet you weren't ready to give of yourself before you had that child. The parents that are still walking around looking like they're in their early stages of life and trying to have facades and all those things, and you have children that are looking like they're struggle children. You would have had a child before you got out of your child stages, right? And you can't undo things. You can't go back and change that. Now the only thing you can do is reprioritize your life.
Yes.
And to this example of what we talked about earlier, I'm not even gonna go into the money factor because we already said that she was wrong for doing it the wrong way. What I want to point out is, fellas, you have just as much value as you claim to have. So if you don't believe that you have any value, you just spread yourself out there and allow anybody to have you and give yourself to anybody as you will, and they will treat you as such. You will have no value. You will just be another individual out here spreading your seed across the world. But when you understand that you are a prize, that you are a gift, and the resource that God gave you is to be treasured, is to be valued because it is the life force. You hear what I'm saying? It's life force. No other substance on earth brings life, bro. So I play with it.
Now,
don't give it to someone who's not going to cherish it and cherish you behind it. Don't make a life with somebody that you are not positive that you're going to be with for the rest of yours.
Don't go out there and absorb demons that you're not ready to absorb.
Because soul ties are real. Every time you lay down with someone, when you wake up, you leaving with a part of them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you don't get rid of that. You don't get rid of it. And see, fellas, you might thinking like, oh, nah, I got mad bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guess what those bodies turn into?
Mm-hmm.
Ghost. When you get older, and those memories that you used to play back in your mind as good memories, and they now begin to haunt you. Don't do it to yourself. Let's take this from two individuals who are sitting in the space begging for your future. That's all I'm doing right now. That's all I'm doing. Begging for your tomorrow. Don't do it today.
And with that said,
yeah,
what a way to end this, Paige.
Yeah.
What a way to end it.
Good one.
Wow.
That was a good one. We did a 130.
And we went on tangents and all that. Yo, this is 2 weeks in a row going in the 130s.
Yeah. This could be the vibe. I don't know. Like, once we get cooking, it's hard to stop.
Y'all let us know if 130 is too much.
Yo, if y'all not feeling this, tell us to shut up a little bit and cut it down.
For real.
But if y'all are feeling it,
down below.
if y'all are feeling this and y'all digging the tangents, let us know that too. Keep the same energy though. Don't tell us you like it and then switch it up. Don't tell us you hate us and switch it up.
Yep.
Tell us what it is.
Facts.
Keep it the energy and just be real with us.
Keep it a buck.
We ain't sentimental.
All the way.
You know
Keep
what I mean?
A buck all the way.
So now, as always, we said it earlier and I want to say it again. Thank you for your time with us. Thank you for chilling with us. Thank you for going on this journey with us, because without y'all, we just sit here talking to ourselves. So we do understand and realize that we only go as far as you take us. So right now, as usual, guys, continue to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share this podcast. And the people who are actually finding us through the clips, I salute y'all too, because y'all are funny. Yo, somebody said in the comments, she was like, yo, I've only been seeing clips. I'm going to do some research and find out who you guys really are. So for all y'all finding us in the clips, man, I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for tagging along with us. And thank you so much for subscribing and making this platform grow on a day-to-day basis. We appreciate
Welcome, and thank you for being imperfects.
Facts. So with that being said, as usual, fathers to the world, you are just a dad. That's all you are. But to your family, you are the world. And don't forget that. But until the next time we see y'all in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to those people, don't trip. Just get those people from around you. That's all. Yeah, this is your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
JP, the Imperfect Husband.
And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace, y'all. And happy 4th birthday, Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
The Imperfect
Let's
Family.
go.
Let's go.
4 years and we still kicking it.